Hi all, this is a small demonstration of our project Neona Sensor Gateway. Neona Sensor Gateway is a remote sensor monitoring system through which we can monitor the sensor values remotely. This is our NHC module. Here we can see the different sensor values and cloud connectivity indications. And about the module, here we can see the power switch. This is the 5-volt adapter connection. Here is a SIM slot where we can insert a micro SIM. This is the antenna for GPRS connectivity. This is the Ethernet port for LAN cable connection. And here we can see two ports for external temperature sensor connections. Right now we have connected a single temperature sensor. This is a USB port. This is a serial port. This is the display of our module. We can see a battery symbol. It shows the status of a battery. And if we plug in a 5-volt adapter here, you can see that battery will be charging. This is a cloud symbol. This symbol indicates the cloud connectivity status, that is whether the cloud is connected or not. If cloud is not connected, we can see a cross symbol. Right now the cloud is connected. This is a LAN cable connection indication. You can see that if we remove the LAN cable, the symbol is gone. If we plug in the LAN cable again, the symbol will appear with first the IP address will be shown and the symbol will appear. This is a SIM network status. Right now our SIM is connected to 3G network. If it is connected to 2G network, then E symbol will be shown. These are three sensor values. IT1 shows the internal temperature. ET1 and ET2 are two external temperatures. Right now we have connected only one external sensor. That is why we can see only one temperature here and ET1 is showing down. Third, in our project we have mainly two server parts. One is local server part and other one is remote server part. Local server is mainly used for configuring our module, and it can be accessed by using the IP address which are shown in our module display. We can check the IP address of our module. First plug in the LAN cable. You can see that this is our IP address. Enter the IP address of our module in the browser, that is 192.168.0.200. And now you can see the login page of our local server page. This is the login page. Here the username and type the password. And press the submit button. Now we can see the sensor status page. This shows the different sensor status of the sensors connected to a module. Here we can see the internal temperature sensor status. Here we can see the two external temperature status. We can see the type of the sensor connected to a module, the current value of the sensor, the warning ranges and down ranges that we set in the remote server page, and the status of the sensor, that is whether it is enabled or disabled. Next is the device info page. In this page we can see the information about our device. This is the MAC address, it's a unique address, and this is the polling time. Polling time is set in the remote server page. By polling time we mean that it's a time taken for the sensor data to get uploaded in the remote server. Done. This is a user account settings. In this page we can change our account settings, that is username and password and press the submit button. Done. Next we can see the sensor calibration page. This page is used for calibrating the different sensors connected to our module. Here we can see that calibrating the internal temperature sensor and the two external temperature sensors. Here we can see the current value of the sensor, and this we can select operator for the calibration, that is plus or minus. Here we can specify the offset value. For example, now I will calibrate the internal sensor by operator plus and giving an offset value of 5 and press the submit button. Now the successfully updated message will appear on the screen. You can press OK and you can see that the calibration, the internal temperature value has been calibrated to +5, and in the module also we can see that the internal temperature value has gone to +5. And if you want to reset all the calibration settings, you can press the reset button here, and the message to proceed the calibration, resetting calibration will appear, and you can press OK there. The successfully reset message will appear. Now you can see that the offsets are gone and the internal temperature value has gone back to the original value. In the module also you can see that the value has gone to the previous value. Next is network page. In this page we can see the network settings of a module. Here we can see the cloud connectivity mode, that is whether it can be LAN or GPRS. Next is the connection, whether it should be DHCP or static. And if we change the settings and press submit button, you can see a successfully updated message. Press OK there. These are two buttons to go to the GSM general settings page and GSM AT diagnostics page. If we select static, you can see the static IP address, subnet mask and gateway here. And if we give the static IP address in the browser, you can log into the local server page. Currently our default configuration is GPRS and DHCP connection. And if we change the configuration and you want to go back to our default configuration, you can press the reset button. Here a message will ask whether all configuration will be loaded with default values. Do you want to proceed? You can press OK there. And module will be reset. Successfully this message will be there. Next is the GSM AT diagnostics page. So connection is GPRS connectivity, and we are facing any GPRS related issues. You can diagnose that issues using AT commands in this page. Here you can see a send data text area and a receive data text area. If we give the AT command in the send data text area and press the submit button, the response from the module, GPRS module, will be appearing on the receive data text area. Next is the GSM general settings page. This page shows all the GPRS related information. Here you can see the SIM status, whether it is ready or not. The network operator. Currently we are using an Idea SIM, so the corresponding Idea is here. This is GPRS status, whether it's 3G or 2G. This is cloud connectivity, where it is success or failure. If we change the SIM in our module, we have to give the new APN of that SIM in this text box and press the submit button. Next is the firmware update page. In our module, the latest firmware can be updated using two methods, using USB and using Ethernet. Firmware update page in the local server page uses the option to upgrade our firmware using Ethernet. We can choose the latest firmware file from here. The latest firmware file will be of the format .NELFRM. You can open that file, and if you press submit button, you can see a progress bar here. It shows the status of the firmware downloading. Next we can see the reboot page. We can reboot our module using this page. If we press the reboot button, and confirmation will be asked, and if we press OK, you can see that the module gets rebooted. We can log out from our remote local server page using this logout button. This is all about local server page. Next we can see about the remote server page. We can log into the remote server by typing the address in the browser nsg.viona.in. This is a login page. We have mainly three types of logins. One is NSG admin, who is a super admin. Another one is admin, and next one is user. NSG admin is the one who registers the user admins, Admin is the one who can register different users, he can register different devices and sensors. He can monitor the values of the sensors and download the sensor logs also. But in the case of user can only monitor the sensor values and download the sensor logs. Now we can log in as NSG admin. We can give the username and password here and log in. This is the home page of the admin, and you can see NSG admin. You can see different admins, already registered admins, and the details in this page. If you want to register a new admin, go to the admin registration. You will give a username, phone number, a valid email address, see, we can see that this phone number has not already been taken. That means some other admin is using this phone number, so you have to register with a new phone number. I'll try the next phone number here. Now give a valid email ID. Give a password for your account. You have to confirm your password here. These are the alert methods that we provide for alerting the admin and users regarding the sensor values. We have two alert methods, using mail and using SMS. If you want a mail alert, you have to check this checkbox. If you want a SMS, you have to check this checkbox. The mail will be sent to the email ID given while registration. The SMS will be sent to the phone number that you registered here, and you press the submit button for registering. Okay. You can see a success message. We can see the newly registered admin in this list. There is a demo admin. You can see that we can select the number of entries per page here and search a particular admin using the search box. NSG admin want to edit an admin's settings, you can do that by using actions, and you can edit the required settings and submit it. If NSG admin want to delete a already existing admin, you can delete it using this delete button. It will ask for a confirmation for the delete. If you want to continue, press yes, delete it. Now that admin is deleted from the list. If you want to edit the NSG admin settings, go to the settings. Here we can read the required details of the NSG admin and press the submit button. Now we can log out from the NSG admin account. This is all about NSG admin. Next, we can log in as admin. This is the username of our admin and give his password. We can log in to the admin account. This is the admin homepage. Here we can see the dashboard of devices registered under this admin. For registering a new device, you can go to device registration. For registering a new user under this admin, you can go to user registration. And to see the details of the user registered under this admin, you can go to user details. Now we can register a device. The name be demo, and you have to give a MAC ID. Here you can see that this name already exists. That means one device is registered in this name, so you have to give another name. In this field you have to give the MAC address of that particular device. MAC address is a unique number which is unique for a device. You have to give that address in this field. You can give the MAC address. This is a MAC address of our device, and you can give a location in which that device locates. This is the polling time. I earlier told you that polling time is the time in which the device communicates with the remote server. Currently we have given 1 minute. Next, give the time zone. And now we can register the device. See, the newly registered device dashboard is appearing on the admin home page. And in this dashboard we can see the device name of the registered device, the last updated time, that is the latest time at which the module communicated with the remote server. We can see the graphical representation of the sensors registered to this device, the tabular representation of the sensors registered to this device, and we can see the settings or change the settings of that device. And if you want, we can delete the settings. Now we can go to that device. Next is sensor registration. Here we can see a list of sensors that are available to that registered device. Alias is a default name that we use to represent a particular type of device. For example, INT1 represents the internal temperature sensor. TEM1 and TEM2 represents the two external temperature sensors. First we can register the internal temperature sensor. Select the alias INT1 and give a sensor name. The unit of the sensor comes by default since it is a temperature sensor, and you can specify a downrange, minimum and maximum, and a warning range, minimum and maximum. Now we can register the sensor. Next we can register the second sensor with our device, that is external temperature sensor 1, and you can give a name external. Here also unit comes by default, and select a downrange and warning range for this sensor. These ranges will come according to your need. And now we can register this device. Next we can register the third sensor with our device, that is external temperature sensor 2, and give a name external. And give the down and warning ranges. And register this sensor also. Now we have registered the sensors of this device, and we have an option to see graphical view and tabular view of the sensor values. We can select the graphical view right now. Select the sensor you want to see the graph, internal or external 1 or external 2, and select the duration, that is past done 1 week, 1 month or 1 year, or you can custom the search from you can select a from date and to date to see the graph of that particular dates. See, this is the graph of the internal sensor registered to this device. Here's the time, date and time of the uploaded value. Now the graph is in zoom mode. If you take a point and drag it, you will get a zoom graph. You can revert back to the normal stage by clicking here. If you doesn't want a zoom mode, you can change to the pin mode. Now the graph is in pin mode, you cannot zoom it. For downloading the graph, there are various formats that we can download the graph, like in JPEG format or PNG format or PDF format or SVG vector image. Likewise, we can see the graphs of all the sensors registered to that device. Next, we can see the tabular view of sensor values. First, you select the sensor. Either you can select all to see the values of all the sensors registered with that device, or you can select individual sensors and select the duration. As in the case of graph, here also we have the option of custom search for past 1 year, past 1 month or past 1 week. Now I have selected the table view of all the sensors for past 1 week. These are the values uploaded to the server from that device. You can see the dates uploaded, time uploaded, different sensor values. As we have registered 3 sensors, you can see 3 sensor values here. Since the polling time during the registration of that device was set to 1 minute, the difference between the uploaded time is 1 minute. You can see here from 1923, 1924, 1925. You can download the table view in the Excel format by selecting the Excel and pressing the download button. See, the Excel sheet is downloaded. Next is the settings option, in which we can see the settings of that registered device. You can change if you want, except the MAC address, because MAC address is unique for a particular device. You cannot change that. You can change the user device name, polling time, location, time zone as your need. If you want to delete a device registered to this admin, you have an option to delete the device, and it will ask for a confirmation whether to delete it or not delete. Right now I am not deleting the device, so I am giving no, cancel it. Okay. So now we can get into the device demo Neona. These are the 3 sensors that we registered earlier, 1 internal temperature sensor and 2 external temperature sensors, and the values of that sensors is getting uploaded in a time interval of 1 minute. And as we see in the dashboard of a device, here we have separate dashboards for sensors also. This is the table format for that internal sensor, temperature sensor. If you take that, you can see the table format of that internal sensor with date, time and value, and you can select the duration here. And we can see the graphical view of that sensor by clicking here, and if you select the duration, you can see the graphical view of internal temperature sensor for past 1 week. And as I explained earlier, we have a zoom option here and a download option in 4 formats. To see the settings of individual sensors, you can go to the settings of that particular dashboard, and here you can see the sensor name, the unit, type of sensor which cannot be edited, alias name that also cannot be edited. Down ranges and warning ranges can be edited here. Down ranges and warning ranges are given so that we can give alerts to the user and admin about that sensor. As we seen earlier, we can use the alert method as mail or SMS. And if you want to delete a sensor, we can use this delete button. Now I have cancelled this deletion. For some sensors, we have enabled or disabled option. You can see that in external sensor. Go to the settings of the external sensor. You can see the name of the sensor, unit, type, alias, and this is the enable or disable option. If we disable it and press submit button, you can see that that sensor becomes disabled. Disabled means the values will not be updated until we enable that. Now for the time being we can re-enable the sensor. Now that's all about the sensors. Now we can go to the home page of the admin. Next is a user registration. We can register a user under this admin. Let us register a user. You can give a phone number for that user. The phone number should be valid and it should not be registered earlier. And you can give any valid email address. For the user account, you can set a password. And confirm the password. For this user, the admin can set an alert option, whether it should be mail or SMS or both. If we check the mail, the alert message will be gone to this email address. If you are checking the SMS, then the alert SMS will be going to this phone number. Now we can submit this user registration. Here you can see that in the user details, the newly registered user has been added, demo user. His details is also shown here. Here you can set the number of entries per page and search a particular user in the search bar. For editing a user details, admin can go to actions and edit the required details here, whether it's email ID, phone number, username or password, and the alert methods can be changed accordingly. If the admin want to delete the user, he can do that by pressing the delete button. Now I am going to delete the user. Done. That's all about user registration. Now if the admin wants to change his settings, he can do that by going to the account settings and change the mail ID if he requires, or phone number or username or password, and alert methods also can be changed accordingly. Yeah. If the admin wants any support from NSG admin, that is super admin, he can go to the support page. This is the username, email address and phone number of that admin, which cannot be changed, and you can type the message here. This is a message that is given by the admin to the NSG admin, and if we press send, this message will be going to the NSG admin email address. That's all about admin. Now we can log out from the admin account. Next is a third type of login, that is a user login. We already seen the user registered by an admin. Now we can log into the remote server as the user. We type the user name and password here and login. See, this is the already registered user under admin who has already registered a device, demo Neona. In this user homepage, you can see the devices registered by the admin of that user. Demo Neona is a already registered device, and here we can see the dashboard. It's the last updated time of that device, and here is the graphical view and table view. For a user, he can only view the details and download the details. He cannot change any settings, so we don't have any settings option here for the user. If we select a graphical view, as in the case of admin, we can select a sensor and select a time division to see the graph, and here also we can see the download option. See, this is a graph of the internal sensor, and if the user want to download that, four formats are available: JPEG, PNG, PDF and SVG. If the user want to see the values in tabular format, he can see that by selecting sensors or all, selecting the duration. This is a table format of the sensors: internal, external 1, external 2, which was registered to the device, which was registered by the admin of that user. As in the case of admin, the user also can download in the Excel format. To see the sensor dashboards, he have to get into the device demo Neona, and these are the three sensors that we registered earlier by the admin: the internal temperature sensor, 2 external temperature sensors. And the values keep on uploading according to the polling time which was given during the registration of the device by the admin. If the user wants to see the individual sensor reports in the graphical format, he can select this graphical format view, select the duration, and he can also download the individual sensor values in the 4 formats: JPEG, PNG, PDF or SVG. In the user homepage, you can see a support option. That is, if the user wants any support from the admin who registered this user, he can use this support page. Here you can see the username, email address and phone number of that user, and type a message for the admin. And if you press send button, this message will be going to the email address of the admin who registered this user. The message has been sent. Done. Since user is just a viewer of all these data, he does not have any right to change the settings. He can only view the sensor values and download the sensor values. So there is no settings option for this user. Now we can log out from the user account. If we forget our password, we have an option for regaining our password. Click the forget password button. You have to specify your email ID here, your phone number here, and enter the captcha as shown. And if we press the submit button, A new password will be sent to your email ID. This forget password option is there for NSA admin and admin also. Now that's all about Neona Sensor Gateway. Thank you.